Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your weekly gaming podcast from Co-op 64. And today we are doing our 2026 gaming predictions. But before we get into that, Nick, how are we feeling?
Doing all right, man. We're so back. Oh, I love this episode. I love that we get to do this time and time again. 2025 was a very good year for video games. Just across the board, it was great. But this year, as I continue to look at it, as I continue to look to the future, I start seeing the releases come out. I'm very excited. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, this is a year that I'm never going to forget. 2025, I think, was a year of definitive quality. This year, it's for daddy. And I'm so excited about it, baby. I cannot wait. I'm feeling great. I'm very curious to see where your predictions lie. I'm very curious to see how your brain works with predictions. Because normally what I would do is I think, okay, let's start with the Xbox and get an Xbox prediction and then do a PlayStation one. But this one, I sort of just went and sat at my desk for 20-ish minutes and was like, let's throw that in there. That sounds fun. That sounds good.
The way I brainstormed is I looked up on Google major video game developers, and there was a image with like a ton of development studios logos.
Connor, I've used that for
like
a thumbnail before.
Scanned over that and I was like, could they make a game this year? Could they announce something? And that's how I came to my five predictions.
But no, doing well. We've just yapped for like 20 minutes off camera about football. So sorry to Brady, who's gonna be like, hey, like, can I come upstairs? Because he's going to be like 5 minutes early or something to when this podcast finishes. And we're going to be like, I'm sorry, we were too busy talking about how good the wildcard weekend's been thus far. But no, can't wait for this tonight. This is pre-Patriots football. It's always just exciting when there's a playoff game that you actually legitimately give a crap about. So shout out to our fallen Panthers fans and Packers fans that are watching this show. And yeah, shout out to the good video games that you get to play in 2026 to go and mend your pain as losers in the NFL playoffs.
I feel like the pain for those separate fan bases is very different.
Yeah.
For the Panthers, it's like, we give them run for their money.
Yeah.
And for the Packers, it's like, oh, no.
My buddy Brock's a Panthers fan. He was stoked this morning. He was so happy. He was just like, we weren't supposed to be here. Yeah. We're 8-9. Dude,
and we almost advanced.
Bryce Young got benched on purpose. Like, an injury didn't happen. They said, we'd rather start Andy Dalton than Bryce Young last year. And he played a great game. And so I think that there's hope for that franchise. Whereas you and I talked about the Packers being like, blow it up. It's over. Like, this is not what you need from this team at this point. But yeah, no, doing well. You want to just hop straight into housekeeping?
Yeah. This show is made possible by all our lovely supporters over on Patreon. You can get this show 3 days early. You can get the Casual Gaming News Conversation 3 days early. And you can get bonus episodes of the Casual Gaming Conversation each and every week. We are doing a grading your top 5 games upcoming for the bonus episode. So if you would like to participate in that, you got to be in the Discord. We just did an episode going over our predictions for the Metacritic scores for every announced game for 2026.
Such a good episode. Please go watch it out.
Games for 2026.
Yeah, this is so interesting because I told people how I went through the process, and I was like, okay, this video game website, that video game website with upcoming releases, and like totally missed out on like Rhythm Heaven.
I was thinking that the Nintendo games.
Yeah, the Nintendo Tamagotchi Life. Yeah, like those two. Connor,
Yoshi's the Yoshi game.
Okay, real quick, Rhythm Heaven, 81, Tamagotchi Life, 77, Yoshi's Story, 78.
Tamagotchi Life, 81, Rhythm Heaven, 82, Yoshi, 77.
Yeah, we're right in the same ballpark. Okay, but yeah, great episode. Go watch it. I think that like we're starting out the year really strong with that bonus pod, so go check that one out.
And then we are also doing a review, a spoiler cast for Control, not this Thursday, but next Thursday it'll be posting. So if you would like to play through that game, whether it's a replay or for your first time along with all of us, me, Brady, and Nick are all playing it right now. And we'll be yapping it up, talking about Control on the podcast, on the bonus pod.
Relatively short, too. So if you're listening to this right now, go and start playing it. Even if you're watching this on Wednesday or Thursday next week, go start playing it, and you can probably beat it in about a week.
I have 5 hours in. I'm 5 hours in, and I have thoughts. I'm very excited to talk about it.
Evidently, you don't like the map.
It's the worst map in any game I've ever played.
All right.
Over on the Twitch side of also for Patreon, you at the second highest tier, those who fight further, you can get Recollecting Retro, you can get the Co-op 64 podcast, and you can also write into each podcast, and we'll pull a few write-ins per episode and bring you into the show. We want to hear your takes, we want to hear your opinions, so please do so by writing in over on Patreon. At the highest tier, you can get your name right at the end of each and every podcast, and you can write in to be the fourth topic on the Co-op 64 podcast. Over on the Twitch side of things, we are playing New Super Mario Bros. Wii on Mondays with me, Brady, and Nick. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, Nick is playing Chrono Trigger. On Wednesdays, I am playing Dark Souls. And this upcoming Friday, we will be playing Chicken Little on stream. So tune into that.
6:30 is the plan as of now. It might go just like, we might be like 5 minutes late.
Yeah, because Nick and I have to film Casual Gaming News Conversation before that.
Yep. So just a heads up, but 6:30 is what we got on the schedule.
Discord, join the Discord community, make friends, talk about video games, movies, music. Also for the forums that we put out there for like grading your top 5 games, we put them in the Discord. Merch, we have t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs if you'd like to support the channel that way. Apple Podcast Services, leave us nice reviews over there. And PAX East, we are doing a meet and greet at PAX East in March.
March 27th and 28th. The boys will be taking on Boston.
Yes.
It'll be a great time.
So if you would like to meet us or go to PAX East, there you go. You do not need to go to PAX East to meet us. We will be doing a meet and greet outside of PAX East at like a local bar or barcade or something. We haven't nailed down the details there, but we will be in Boston for that weekend.
Yeah, so excited. I was just on the phone with one of our good friends, Matt, and he's rolling in from LA for that event. It's so sudden, and we're so excited.
Yeah.
This is one of those two, like, we fully understand that PAX is not an an all-in. It's also a shorter notice, but we also understand there's going to be a lot of nerds at PAX East that want to go and meet and greet and hang out and grab a beer with the boys. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
In the new year, we said that we were getting rid of hot takes for the fan-submitted write-ins.
We're done. No more hot takes ever, unless we have a hot take.
And I have a hot take this week.
Let's go.
My gaming hot take for this week is that I don't really care about how long a game has been in development. It does not change my expectations for said game. This has come up a lot around Metroid Prime 4. That game was in development for like 8 years. It changed hands to Retro Studio, so it really wasn't in development for that long. But the expectations were through the roof because of that development time. For me, does not factor in. I just take the game for what it is. Is it a good Metroid Prime game? Still TBD on how I feel about that. I'm over halfway through that game, and I'm enjoying it. But while I'm playing it, I'm not like, oh, this took this long to make, and this is what they made. It's like I don't think that way. I just take the game like, is it good or not? For GTA 6, people have exceedingly high expectations because of the wait between 5 and 6. For me, my expectations for GTA 6 come solely from the fact that it is another open world Rockstar video game, and they make great open world video games, and that's why I'm excited for GTA 6. I'm not excited for it because it took a very long time, and I will not review it off of, oh, it took a long time, so it needs to hit these metrics, it needs to hit these bars because it took X amount of time. I'm stoked for GTA 6 when it comes out, but I'm taking it for what it is.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3, similar situation. Expectations through the roof for the next mainline Kingdom Hearts game. For me, I had been playing Kingdom Hearts games in between 2 and 3 for a decade. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, we played over 2 days. All my expectations were for Kingdom Hearts 3 was another great Kingdom Hearts game, utilizing the power of a home console rather than a handheld. And that's exactly what I got. Is it as good as Kingdom Hearts 2 or 3? Or sorry, 2 or 1? No, but it is a great Kingdom Hearts game, and my expectations were not higher because of how long it took to develop. And there's so many factors that come into play when it comes to development that if a game has taken a long time to develop, it could be for nefarious reasons.
Yeah.
It could be because it was troubled. So maybe you should give the developers a little bit of slack if the game took a very long time to make. You don't know. And the fact that we don't know leads me to say you can't factor it in to how you criticize a game.
Yeah, we're talking about something that is so tumultuous when it comes to devs. Like, we understand making a video game is very hard. Every single time somebody walks on the Game Awards stage, it's always, this was a very difficult process. It's not easy to go and make a video game. And so when you hear that the game took 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 years, I promise you that dev team did not plan on taking 7, 8, 9, or 10 years.
Yeah.
And so when you have them step up to the plate and it doesn't hit the expectation, the expectation should not be relying on dev time. Honestly, like you said, it should go the other way, where it's like the fact that Metroid Prime 4 came out, miracle. Like it doesn't that didn't think like there was a point
That
in
game should have been
development.
canceled when they switched to retro.
Exactly. And the fact that it came out and it's even good is pretty awesome. And sure, you can say that this is in the Metroid Prime experience that we all
There's
wanted.
a ton of things to criticize for that game.
100%. But that's not one of them. And that is on you for having not unrealistic expectations about what Metroid Prime is. It's you having unrealistic expectations about what game development equates to. There's how many times it's almost like being like, man, I had a play that I wrote that gestated for 10 years and it comes out and it just like doesn't work out, compared to I had a really good idea one time in one moment and it's brilliant. Like time doesn't equate how good something is ever. And so as somebody that believes that hard work can go and equate great things and everything, it's not though a clear one for one. And if you think that, then you don't know how like the world works, in my opinion. Like that goes beyond just video games.
If you follow the trend, if anything, we should be lowering our expectations if a game has been in development for a real long time.
Yeah, because normally there's development hell and tough things that aren't perfect. And honestly, like GTA is a very like obvious situation where it's like your excitement for GTA should not come from the fact that it's been 13 years between GTA games. Also, your excitement for GTA, your development time, if you are somebody that's like GTA 6 took 13 years to develop, you are just like factually incorrect. Like they released a full open world massive video game in 2018 at the end of 2018, and sure, 8 years is a standard that I do not want to set in the industry for how long it takes to make a massive video game. But also we've talked so many times about the risk that GTA 6 is taking on by being this $1 billion production, and so they need to nail it, and they're going to take as much time as they need. They have I assume that they have no overhead on dates or timelines. They're just like, you're going to print me money, so do what you need to do to get it done.
Alrighty, you don't have a hot take?
No, absolutely not.
Wow, okay.
There's been some things gestating in the system for a little bit, but no, I'm taking the opportunity to not have a hot take on the hot take.
I had this hot take for when Metro Prime 4 came out, and then we didn't do hot takes because of the Co-op Awards and Game of the Year that I've just been sitting on it for a while. Exactly.
And so, just in the future, though, if we want hot takes, we'll have a hot take. And if we don't have something that we really need to say, it's hot and pressing in our soul, then we will just go straight into main topic.
So we are doing our 2026 predictions today. We both brought 5 predictions, but I thought it would be fun to look back on our 2025 predictions. So I went back and listened to that episode and wrote down a rough translation, a rough transcript of what we said. It's not bar for bar, word for word, but we're just going to go through rapid fire and say, we don't need to discuss these in depth, but let's just...
Were we right or wrong, Connor? And also, like, this is fun because I think that this is a good gauge to be like, the predictions we're bringing today, I assume a lot of them are going to be wrong, but maybe we get a couple right. Yeah. And that's exciting enough.
Nick said for his first prediction, Nintendo Switch 2 will release before April 15th with 2 exclusive titles that are not Mario. Not both Mario.
That's wrong.
Yes.
We got a June 5th release.
And neither, Mario Kart.
Mario Kart and Welcome Tour, Connor, the biggest game of the year, came out that day. No, that's it. I think the prediction was we're going to get Metroid and Mario. We're going to get Pokemon and Mario. So, we didn't get
either of Metroid or Pokemon. We were taking it to the bank Metroid launch title.
Which, in retrospect, I think that honestly, if they were able to pull it off and get Metroid, it would have had a bigger moment than it did in December.
Yeah, probably. My first prediction was Fair Games will launch in 2025 to fill out the year alongside Ghost and Death Stranding 2. A stellar beta and a free-to-play price point gets people on board as the title ends up actually being a hit. To be fair, it was Fair Games or Marathon, and at one point, Marathon was a 2025 game to fill out the year alongside Ghost and Death Stranding 2.
Not the worst idea you've had. Yeah, for sure.
Nick said, PlayStation Showcase returns, and we see Kingdom Hearts 4 and Persona 6.
Just so insanely wrong. But we're going to get a showcase this year, Connor, I believe.
I said the return of turn-based AAA RPGs are cemented. To be fair, this is not I did not know that how big the dev studio was for this game. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 proves once again that the demand for turn-based titles is not going away, with massive critical reception at launch and exceeding sales expectations, building off of the groundswell that titles like Persona, Metaphor, and Like a Dragon have brought in recent years. Final Fantasy and Square Enix take notice. This game is getting nominated for Game of the Year. Swish, dude. Swish. That might be my greatest prediction I've ever made.
Nailed it.
So good.
Just across the board, nailed it. Yeah.
It won Game of the Year, too.
Yeah.
I was low on it.
Yeah. Your prediction was wrong, Connor. No, you nailed it.
Nick said, we go through the entire year still not knowing which games are Xbox exclusives.
Swish.
And I said, we get clarity on Xbox exclusives.
No clarity.
Yeah.
There's no clarity.
No
Connor, no idea whether Forza's day one coming to PlayStation or Xbox.
Nick said Xbox gets its first Game of the Year nominee in the modern Game Awards era.
Just swing and a miss, baby.
Yeah. Nothing even really came close.
Nothing came remotely close, I would say. Nothing like, to be close, I would say you would have to be in the conversation where like Split Fiction and Blueprints were close, but didn't get nominated. Yotei didn't get It wasn't even that close.
The return of Castlevania. Konami teams up with Platinum Games to make a third-person action-adventure game centered around the Castlevania IP.
Swing and a miss.
Not really, though. I had the wrong IP.
Yeah.
But Platinum Games action third-person action-adventure game with Ninja Gaiden.
4, that's awesome. Yeah.
Nick said Night Rain gets less than an 85 on Metacritic. Nailed it. But he said FBC Firebreak is the 3-player co-op experience that we all want.
So wing and a miss.
I don't know. It's kind of like a foul ball.
Yeah, I like it's a 50. I got 50%, exactly 50% of that prediction right.
Earthblade and Mina the Hollower finally hit in 2025. I'm so sorry. I killed Earthblade and maybe Mina the Hollower with that prediction. And last but not least, Nick and I both had a Zelda prediction. Nick said we get a Zelda this year.
Yep.
Which technically kind of right because of the
Breath of I was gonna say Breath of the Wild Switch 2 when Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2, which by the way, that is their Zelda for the year. Right. They're getting a Zelda every year. Yeah.
I said by the end of the year, the new mainline Zelda game will be announced, something more tailored and straightforward like classic Zelda. Wrong.
Yeah, incorrect.
Those are fun.
We're all things considered, what? We got like, if we're doing half points, we got like 3 out of 10. Or do we do 6 total?
Yeah, well, we had overlap, and then I was like, well, let's just do
the extra ones. I didn't bring any extra ones. I can come up on the fly if we need them. We also have fan written in predictions during this. Connor, I
grabbed 3. Well, it's really 3.5.
Great.
Because there's a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
So like I took one prediction surrounding one topic, but there was like 4 write-ins for certain topics.
And I, by the way, I went in at the start of the week. So for those wondering, and I'm going to try to just get through this as fast as humanly possible. As of right now, we're with the write-ins. I post them, and then for CGC, I try not to look at them. Connor's going to pull in whatever he wants to pull in, so I can have fresh, off the cuff sort of opinions on this and not have like things set in stone. Also, I want to write my own predictions, and I didn't want to see everything. I get the notification that people are writing in, but I don't want to go and look. For CGNC, the plan is Thursday. We're going to post that. Hey, this is what we're doing for the week. These are the news stories we're pulling in. Write in for that. And if the news breaks Thursday night and you want to write in about it, do it.
Yeah.
Friday morning, do it. But this is when I make the document for CGNC, which is Thursdays. You will go and get what the news stories are going to be, and you can like just gestate and think through what you want to write in. Write in with predictions and questions and your own thoughts on the news, please.
I would say, think of it like you're the third chair at the table with us. What would you say if we threw out this news story or this particular topic, and how would you participate in that conversation?
Exactly. Nailed it.
All right. The predictions. Do you want to go first?
I kind of do want to go first.
Hit me.
I'm curious. You probably have a prediction about this thing. Like it's almost like Switch 2 or Zelda. The Steam Machine comes out. The cheapest version is $9.99, and it launches with Half-Life 3.
I think that's take it to the bank.
Yeah,
I think almost all of that is correct.
Connor, we got to be very clear though. Half-Life 3 is never a guaranteed thing. It feels like it should be.
It's the closest it's ever been.
Oh yeah, 100%. But then here's the thing: it's the closest it's ever been. If it doesn't happen, it's almost like being like, okay, this thing that potentially exists actually does exist. The odds of that being the case, though, how many times have we said like, oh, it's got to happen? Like, there's a thing. It's not a guarantee by any means. So yeah, I feel like the Half-Life 3 part is the biggest question mark. I feel very, very good about the Steam Machine coming out $9.99. I did want to toss something in about it being potentially delayed. I think that they're not going to delay it and the price just increased. I think that there was probably at one point a $7.99 on the cheapest model, and they went, well, that's not happening with the price of RAM. I joked about it. We said it. I want to repeat it because it's one of the best things I've ever said on a podcast. They literally should just rip the RAM sticks out of this console and sell them. Like, that is, they will make more money doing that. They're not going to do that. They already announced the product. They have to sort of deal with these losses. And so, yeah, I think that this thing is now going to be higher in price. You cannot have it be $1,200. Like, it needs to be in the triple digits. But they're going to go and put it at $9.99. And there will be a lot of people that defend this and be like, it's cheaper than PC. And I'll be one of them. I'm going to be like, yeah, this is another alternative if you want that middle ground. And
I also think that if you're tuned into the PC ecosystem, you're tuned into the Steam ecosystem, you will cut Steam and Valve a lot of slack.
Yep.
Just because of their history, them always kind of being the good guy in the games industry, and a lot of people just, there's a lot of love and a lot of goodwill for the Valve just across the board when it comes to their games, when it comes to Steam, when it comes to all of that.
Yeah, so. And once again, I think that this is a product that we've said for a long time. This is not a mass consumer product. I wanted it to be. Yeah, we all did. If this thing could have come in at $4.99 or $5.99, I think that this would be a conversation of a must buy. Like, you have to buy this thing if you're somebody that really like loves this stuff. This is a great alternative. But now it really is, I think, what the price point is going to be at. It's going to be like, okay, this is not a console purchase. This is the cheap version of the PC to go and have you good to go. But at that point, I would just say get a PS5 or a Switch.
My first prediction: the next Animal Crossing is announced at the Summer Nintendo Direct for release later this year. I think it's the fall game. I do not think that the January update to Animal Crossing means anything for the potential sequel to Animal Crossing New Horizons.
I'm sticking with my thought process on this, and as time continues to go on, it hasn't happened yet. We've talked about where you think Animal Crossing is going to be in the Switch life cycle multiple times. You think it's on the earlier side. I think it's on the later side. You want more and more people to get your console in the hand.
You want more people to buy the console for this. And I think there's a huge audience that will go out and buy a Switch 2 exclusively for Animal Crossing.
I
know people who did that for Switch 1 and Animal Crossing New Horizons.
I think that and I have a Nintendo prediction, but I'll get to it later. I think that the Nintendo console seller is Pokemon. And
you already had that.
But you had a Switch 1 version of it. And so people didn't have to make that upgrade choice.
I think you can do Gen 10 and Animal Crossing in the same way.
You totally could. That's how you sell a shit ton of Switches.
It's the second year of the Switch 2. I do not think they can let off the gas. And with the current slate that they have announced, they are very much letting off the gas.
Let's bring in my prediction at this point then. My second prediction is Nintendo has an underwhelming year. For my taste, it's Pokemon, it's Fire Emblem.
That's not enough.
Connor, it's Pokemon, it's Fire Emblem for the big dogs, and then it's Tamagotchi Life and Rhythm Heaven and Yoshi and
Mario Tennis Aces.
Tennis Aces. Fever. Yeah, Mario Tennis. And so, at the end of that year, all things considered, if we looked back in 5 years and we said, what were the big games of 2026 for Nintendo, and you said Fire Emblem and Pokemon, and they had a great list of other games, that's a good year. It's not a great year. And that's the hard part of this discussion, where it's like, I really think that they're in a spot where they sadly had the Switch 1 lifecycle go a little bit too long. And they put themselves in a spot where Tears of the Kingdom is a Switch 1 game and not a Switch 2 game. They put themselves in a spot where we're not going to get new 3D Mario for a long time. Animal Crossing is such an interesting proposition because I don't think that Animal Crossing is the most intensive game to develop. You know what it's going to be. You're getting bells, you're digging holes, you're fishing. That's what you're doing. It's not going to be a game-changing system that's going to take place on the Switch 2 version, right? And so I think that this thing could come out whenever, but I really think that they're trying to get through this year, and then you are able to have 2027 where you're able to fully reload and have it be, okay, there's going to be a Zelda, there's going to potentially be a actual substantive Mario game, and then you can also have Animal Crossing, Smash, like Animal Crossing, Smash, Splatoon, Mario, Zelda. This is Nintendo. Like, and Pokemon is still Pokemon. And Pokemon is a huge needle mover. Gen 10 is a huge needle mover. Like, I don't want to underestimate what that actually is for the console. That's why I said Nintendo has an underwhelming year for me.
Do you have another Nintendo prediction?
I have no more Nintendo on my board.
I'm going to bring in two of the write-ins. This is it's really 1A, 1B.
Nice.
So usually it'll be 3 write-ins, but these kind of overlap. So
3 write-ins with some fun. That's sort of where we're at.
And there's multiple facets to both of these. Christopher Woodside says the Switch 2 hits $600 US dollars, but sales remain strong because of a. Sorry. But sales remain strong when supported with a strong exclusive lineup of Gen 10 Pokemon and remakes of Ocarina and Majora's Mask. And Sean Holohan says, I've got a feeling Nintendo is going to drop an Ocarina of Time remake this year. It just seems like the perfect time for them to bring back the most iconic game in the series. So 2 facets here, $600, yes or no?
I think at the very most, it's $500 for a base without a game.
I would not be shocked if it hit 600.
I wouldn't be shocked.
But the issue with that, I think they would need to bump it to 600, and then whenever the RAM prices go down, they need to bring it back down.
Well, that's
Which
Nintendo.
we don't see that happening with consoles nowadays. There used to be price reductions for like the PS3, like went from 600, and they quickly got it to like 300 as fast as possible.
Yeah.
That did not happen for the PS5.
It's because the tech market is messed the heck up, dude. It's so bad. But I think that Nintendo understanding what they're doing with the tech prices that are in the Switch isn't as intensive as needing these souped up RAM sticks and everything. I think that they're in a spot where they can go and realistically keep it at a lower price and not have it be as detrimental to the cost to make the Switch.
The price will go up for the console this year.
I'm not sure about the Switch. And I'm not sure about the PlayStation 5 either at this point. I think that I think that Xbox at this point, they fully were like, we're not selling these things anyways, so might as well just go and try to recoup whenever we do sell one, because the difference between $500 and $750 for a Xbox makes no difference. If you want an Xbox, you're going to pay whatever price you want for that Xbox. And if you are on there's no like in between person that's like, I'm going to get an Xbox over PlayStation nowadays. That makes no sense. If you want an Xbox, you're going to get an Xbox. But when it comes to PlayStation and their market share, I think that you can go up an extra $50 or so, but you don't want to lose the goodwill that you have with your customer. In the same way that Nintendo right now, it's their whole shtick is we are a family-friendly console. You see $600, I think that is so aggressive to the eye. I think that is so bad for your brand. I know $5.99, you still have that $5 up front, but like that does not scream consumer friendly. That doesn't scream family. That goes so much against your
I think
core
500
messaging.
makes a lot of sense.
$500,
$4.99.
$4.99. I'm like, yeah, that you're. And that's acceptable.
But I also think that just technology in general, a lot of people are becoming more and more comfortable with the increase in price. Like you look at phones across the board, they've just gotten more and more expensive.
$200 every single time.
Some people buy a phone every single year, and that's $1,000 every year. That's crazy. And when we're talking about consoles, it's $500 for 7 years of use. Like that's wild. So then totally when you factor that in, like the overall landscape of how people look at technology nowadays, like I think $700 for a unit that you're going to use for 7 years is like
not
totally
insane.
acceptable.
Yeah,
like that's
insane.
why I look at like PlayStation. I'm like, I like PS5 Pro. Like if I want that higher fidelity and at that price point, I'm going to get years and years and years out of this. It's like that's fine.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with that.
But I'm at the point with Nintendo specifically. I would not be shocked if PlayStation tomorrow could go up $100. That would not like make me like, gasp or drop my jaw. But Xbox could hit $1,000, and I would not be shocked.
It's also with Xbox, they're just kind of preparing people for the next generation. Like,
Yeah.
this is how much this is going to cost anyways.
Yeah. And then so I go and I look at Nintendo though, and I really think that they have the most to lose by raising their prices.
That's fair.
Especially also coming off of not selling the best in November. They should have dominated this November, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And I think a large part of that is people financially buying a console. It's a entertainment thing. It's not a like necessity, right? And so I think that a lot of people are like, we're not doing that this holiday, and so but for the people that are, $450 versus $500, I think still is massive for a lot of people. So yeah, I think that now do you want to flip over to the Ocarina?
Other part of that, Ocarina of Time. I don't think Majora's Mask. You're not getting both of them.
No.
But I thought about doing that as one of my predictions. I think that it's really tough to imagine they get out of this year without a Zelda product of some kind. And I think Ocarina of Time remake, do it a little bit more higher budget than like what we got with Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom, and like give it like a full on modern remake. I think that would sell like hotcakes and would bridge the gap between the mainline Zelda games, because it's going to be a while.
Here's the thing, I'm contradicting myself when I make this prediction, because my business brain, it says the same thing with The Last of Us. It says the same thing with Zelda. These companies want one of this every single year. And as much as people complain about the Last of Us remakes because they're egregious and they're ridiculous, they sell and they bridge the gap for your IP. They keep it in the zeitgeist. Zelda's the exact same way, where you want a Zelda product every single year, no matter what. And that's why, once again, people are like, I don't love we just got these ports. It's like those ports sold very well, by my understanding. They like did their job at least. And then what did we get last year? Echoes of Wisdom. What did we get the year before? Or the last year? What did we get in 2024? Echoes of Wisdom. What did we get in 2023? Tears of the Kingdom. They want something Zelda every single year that you can go out and pick up and play and have fun with. I wouldn't be shocked if it is Twilight Princess GameCube edition comes out.
GameCube edition.
I'm saying goes to NSO.
Interesting. I think they're saving that for Wii whenever they bring over the Wii catalog.
That's fair. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be something.
The ship is completely sailed on HD Zelda Wii U games.
Yeah, I think that
they want them in the online catalog to sell subscriptions.
Yeah, and I think that that's smart for them. It sucks for the consumer.
Yeah.
But I'm at the point though that yes, I think that they should have something Zelda this year. I'm more leaning that it's gonna not be Ocarina Remake, which once again, Ocarina Remake, that is a 10 million copy seller by the end of its lifetime.
I wonder how it would hold up for a lot of people. I don't want them to change it that much.
They shouldn't change it.
Yeah,
but
they've already done the one remake.
Exactly.
So then, like, what's really even the fucking point?
Dude, I wouldn't be shocked if they port that remake. But like.
Okay, well, maybe that's interesting. Because then you do get Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
But apparently that version of Majora's Mask isn't as good.
Yeah. I have low expectations for whatever we're going to get for Zelda this year. If it's Ocarina... Here's the hard part with Ocarina Remake. It's a lot like Campaign Evolved Remake in my mind. How much like better is this game going to be? I think it's
not going to be better. The only reason you're remaking Ocarina of Time is to get it to a new audience.
Exactly. And so, but for the people that like, I played Ocarina of Time for the first time last year. That remake comes out. Connor's probably the only one playing on the team, if anyone, or we get Brady to play it.
I don't even know if I would play
exactly, because you played it recently enough where it's like, why I don't want to hop back in when I have other new games to play or other old games that you haven't played yet.
And I also don't think I would get anything out of it.
Exactly.
Like, that game is immaculate.
Yeah, it is one of the best games ever, period, bar none.
And it holds up perfectly.
Really well. It's arguably the ultimate hero's journey. Like, I can point to that and be like, that is what that game does basically better than any other. But so yes, it's going to sell hotcakes. Yes, it would kind of be a needle mover for those that have an immense Nintendo nostalgia, which is a lot of the Nintendo fan base. But I don't think that, like, personally, once again, even it kind of goes with like me. It would be underwhelming for me, even my taste. Like, like I wouldn't move the needle too much for me. But I do think that there is another shoe to drop for this year. I think that shoe happens on Pokemon Day with Gen 10, And that's that. Like, that is the big moment. And then when we get Summer Direct and everything, it's going to be, hey, we're reloading on stuff for next year. And that's where we're going to get the next Mario Sports game in February and the next Toad game and like just random stuff alongside it. Yeah.
My next prediction.
So I've done 2 predictions, right?
Yes.
Great. And you've done 2?
This is my second.
Okay, great.
You went first. It is finally time. PlayStation Showcase 2026. With consoles likely being pushed, it's time to line up the dominoes for the rest of a lengthy PS5 generation. Intergalactic will get its first gameplay. The next Sony Santa Monica game will be shown. The Horizon multiplayer game will finally get announced. And Destiny 3 will get its first teaser.
Okay,
there's a lot in there.
Let's start here. If consoles are not 2027, and I don't think they are at this point, I think that would be silly. Literally, like either the AI bubble pops and the price of RAM goes down, and it, God willing, like that's something I want to happen. I don't
want it to happen, but you do want it to happen.
I don't want
because
it to,
the ramifications of that are catastrophic for. Just
many companies and
just many people.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Day-to-day life is going to be bad for a while.
But obviously, AI I think is naturally not a good thing. With that being said, or you get to actually figure out how to manufacture for cheaper and not put out a console that's going to be crazy expensive. So with that line of logic, PlayStation Showcase. Jeff Grubb, Giant Bomb, has said many, many times, showcases aren't off the table. They just need to line up. You do a state of play because you can always do a state of play. There's always going to be a first party announcement good to go every 3 or 4 months with the amount of studios that PlayStation has. With that being said, I want it to happen more than anything. Y'all aren't ready for the day that I get to react to a PlayStation Showcase. Y'all aren't ready for when we get to react to a PlayStation Showcase. Y'all aren't ready. It will be an event that I would legitimately suit up for that. Like, I would be... dude, I would...
Sure, yeah, I would suit up for it.
Yeah. I would be so excited. With that being said, I just don't know.
There's so much cooking at PlayStation that we don't really know about. If the console released in 2027, I think that they would save something like the next Sony Santa Monica game to start pushing the new console. But now that we're looking at 2028 and you can get this game out potentially before the release of the PS6, it makes more sense to show it sooner rather than later.
Right now, we are 4 years, 3.5, 2022, 4 years since God of War Ragnarok. Mm-hmm. It's time. Like, we're at the point that we will be seeing the next Sony Santa Monica game, and it might not even be Cory Barlog's game.
Right.
There's Corey's been doing his own thing for a long time now, and they're working on 2 things. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw both. Like the next God of War thing and the next Cory Barlog major new IP project.
And then for Guerrilla and Horizon, it's the same
2022. Even earlier. Like, they totally need to reload.
And this is not the MMO that was recently announced. This is something different made in-house at Guerrilla. This has been rumored for a very long time. A Monster Hunter style Horizon game, which actually awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah. That sounds like the most 8 out of 10 that I play for way too long ever.
Yeah.
It's going to be sick.
And it'll be a hit too. Yeah. Oh, Monster Hunter's huge, bigger than ever.
Monster Hunter's huge, and the Horizon IP is strong.
And it's very easy to just apply the Monster Hunter formula to that world.
Yeah. Big robot dinos are always sick.
Yeah.
So
and then I think Marathon might stumble, and if Bungie wants to survive, and there's been rumors about Destiny for a while now that they're in pre-production on Destiny 3, that if Marathon stumbles out the gate, they need to get the narrative back. They're like, fuck it, just announce that we're making Destiny 3, get people back excited about something that is being made by Bungie, and they just show like a title card.
I could make the title card for Destiny 3, dude. It'd be so sick. It would literally just be a flash screen and then the Destiny logo, and then a 3 pops up, and then literally it will change the entire narrative. I think that the big thing that you're forgetting too is third party.
Yeah.
PlayStation has a great relationship with this team out in Japan that has a large relationship with Mickey Mouse.
I have another.
They got a
Do you have a
relationship
take
with
on this?
No, I have nothing.
Then let me hit it. Then.
Yeah.
We are not getting out of 2026 before seeing both Kingdom Hearts 4 and Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII is first up, announced for Q1 2027.
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts 4 is just given a blanket 2027 year.
Yeah.
And it hopefully comes out that fall.
I'm down with all that.
We are not leaving this year without seeing these video games.
Before we get so I want to get back to the PlayStation Showcase and then I want to hop into that prediction.
Yes.
Persona 6. I also think like we talked about the 30th anniversary. I say Game Awards. Game Awards makes a ton of sense for that. Like it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Like that's how you open or close the Game Awards so easily. Jeff right now is loving the big band productions with Okami and with Mega Man. How just aroused he's gonna get at the thought for Persona music. Like to start kicking in and everyone's like immediately like is it, and then like the green shows up that everyone's been anticipating.
It's 1000% green, right? It has to be.
And so I would be stoked for that. I would love that. Awesome. But Sony Showcase also totally makes sense.
Reel it back real fast. Outside of third party, you also have Bend working on. They haven't made a game since Days
canceled
Gone.
And then
Still, it's been a couple of years probably in development on whatever they're working on next.
Yep.
Blue Point.
Blue Point. If
Blue Point is not making a Bloodborne
remake, I
or
don't
just
know
a
what to do.
Bloodborne sequel.
Yeah, dude. I think that they could kill a Bloodborne 2. I think that they could kill a Bloodborne 2. I think that game could be really special.
I do not think it would be as good as Bloodborne 1, but because you don't have Miyazaki working on it. But
it's insane how much control that name has in the industry. It is insane.
If you want to make that game special, like have him in like a supervisor role or just like a producer role.
Dude. Producer roles are important, and
have him write the story or something.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's funny. I'm boot up control and everything, and it's not directed by Sam Lake, but it's written by Sam Lake. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, that's how Sam Lake is involved. Is Alan Wake just written by Sam Lake, or is he directed too? I'll look that up in a bit. They have third-party partners that can show up in this thing and really help flesh it out. Whatever Capcom's next slate is, I think that could easily be able to fill out a showcase like this. Maybe you get Onimusha, it gets released in August, but then also, what are we doing with Okami? What are we doing with
Devil May Cry?
DMC6.
Yeah.
I think that there's enough partners that you can look at and be like, they would want to show up. When are we getting the Metal Gear Solid 2 collection? Like, when are we, like, the second volume of that collection and everything? When are we going to get Peace Walker and 4 and 5 on modern consoles?
Where's Castlevania? Konami, what are you doing?
Exactly. Like, so I think that when you start putting the pieces together, also something that we didn't mention, Insomniac's always working on something.
Yeah. I do not think you show Venom before Wolverine is out.
But I'm saying that this would be a great opportunity. You do close out with 6 minutes of gameplay. You do the full Spider-Man 2 thing for the 2023 showcase that they did, where they're just like, we showed you a lot of awesome stuff that's upcoming, but we want to show you what's next. And you go and you do that.
Except for that showcase, they did not show us a lot of awesome stuff that year. And then capping off with just Spider-Man again that we already knew about. Yep. I was like,
Well, because the hard part of 2023 showcase, which I think is probably my most watched showcase ever at this point, not because it's good, but because it's fascinating.
Yeah. The highlight of that was Marathon.
Yeah. And I would even say right now that, like, we'll get into it. Marathon's so interesting to me. But we all expected The Last of Us factions to be there, and then like a month later it got announced that it was canceled. If we knew that was canceled before that showcase, different conversation, different expectations.
Right.
But like going into it, it was Last of Us factions, Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, and Spider-Man 2. Those are the things we're definitely going to see, because the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta felt very, not just rumored, but like it was pretty locked in. Those 3 things make a great showcase. One of those things didn't exist. We got the other 2. So like it is very fascinating. I think that they're at a spot where they easily could line up the dominoes and just be like, hey, we just want to show a lot of new stuff. But a lot of the stuff that you said is rumored, exciting, but like also kind of obvious. Like the most exciting parts of that showcase are going to be Cory Barlog's game and intergalactic gameplay.
What the fuck is Media Molecule doing?
Dude.
I thought about having a Little Big Planet prediction.
Yeah, well, that's the other part where I think that they could, easily. Hey, February showcase happens. We're gonna open with a Wolverine date, and we're gonna close with something new. The next showcase happens. We're gonna open with something smaller, maybe third party. We're gonna close with, hey, here's a date for Intergalactic, and just keep it rolling. And then Game Awards rolls around. That's where we get Barlog's next game. He comes on stage. People lose their fucking shit. Like that's sort of the pacing I expect from them. With that being said, there's never been a better time for PlayStation to have a showcase. I completely agree. Final Fantasy.
Yes.
This might be the most thing. This is the thing I can rant about the longest. The remake's coming out in 2027. I don't know if it's early 2027.
Period. Yeah.
The remake's coming out in 2027. There is a 0% chance that this game it does not get revealed this year. It's a question of when, but there's a 0% chance. We have, the way I see it, 5 opportunities for this to show up. 3 State of Plays, SGF, Game Awards. I think it could show up at any of them. Game Awards this year, it could have shown up at. We're now in the blast zone of this getting announced.
First State of Play, we're seeing it.
I could easily see that be the case.
And then we get like a longer trailer gameplay at SGF.
Yeah, and then that timeline makes sense if it's early 2027.
Then you get the music video that we got for it at Game Awards, and then it comes out in 2027.
I think that this thing exists. I think that it is happening soon. Well, obviously it exists. I think it's happening relatively soon. I'm
not ready.
We will. That will be something to me, man. That will be the longest post-game breakdown probably we ever produce. That will be like if we were planning, okay, if it is a State of Play and that State of Play goes from 5 to 5:45 and you or I had to stream at 7, we would cancel stream. we would go talk about it for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then do dinner after the fact because
then keep talking about it over dinner.
yeah, and then talk about it off camera more. Because it's so big, it's so important. It is so this channel. Connor knows this. I had people over to play Rock Band this past weekend, and the thing that everyone asks when they enter my apartment is, "What's your favorite thing in the apartment?" Because you don't realize how nerdy this place is until you have strangers enter your apartment and be like, what the heck's happening here? And every single time I point to the stitch that our moderator Boomer Scooter made because I'm like, I love Final Fantasy. Also, the 2 swords that are always just over there are so sick.
I thought you were going to point to the moving blanket.
Yeah, the blanket that's behind us to cover up sound. It means something to us. It's going to happen eventually. Kingdom Hearts 4, like my Half-Life 3 prediction, I believe that it makes sense that it'll happen, but also because like it lines up, it makes sense. Also, we are now talking about 2027 would be 8 years. The 2019 was when KH3 released. 8 years, ton of time. Once again, they're working on other stuff. They're doing many different things.
I don't want on this roller coaster anymore. Yeah. I don't like this ride.
So I think that we're gonna get it. But also I
don't care.
It's just,
honestly, I don't care when this comes out. It comes out, and I will play it. But I refuse to be on this ride looking on the internet for news, every scrap of information. I'm not doing it. I did it for Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm off that. I'm off that train.
Also, when Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out, if this does not win Game of the Year and it is as quality as Remake and Rebirth, I think that is a catastrophic level failure of this industry for not recognizing what this is. The expectation for this series Hollow Knight Silksong for years was the highest expectation felt like for a video game, and it came out and it delivered. Shout out to Team Cherry, they're brilliant. We're talking about something that is top 3 most beloved IP and franchises in all video games. I think about Ocarina of Time remake. I think about like a Metal Gear remake. I think about a Halo remake. When we're talking about the big boys of just all of video games, Final Fantasy VII as a remake should. It sounded insane. It sounded impossible.
3 parts? 3? It sounded like a terrible idea.
And the way that they've done it is, as of right now, they've released a Final Fantasy VII remake, which is one of the best introductory points to a franchise in all video games. Is so freaking good and has one of the best combat systems ever. Rebirth builds upon it in every way. open world adventure, just enough side content to go and make your head spin. And like, it's just one of the best video game experiences of all time. Best soundtrack in video games, best cast in all of video games. Like, delivers. If it just doesn't fumble the bag, and once again, it's Final Fantasy and it's Square Enix and the writing can be off the walls and all that good stuff, and I don't think that they're going to fumble the bag. I really don't. If it comes out, this is, in my opinion, the biggest accomplishment, single feat in all video game history, period, bar none. This should not work. We're talking about 7 years of juggling balls. Like, and they're just like, yeah, well, throw in Crisis Core Reunion in there too while we're at it. Like, it's insane. And when it happens, they deserve the credit, all the credit in the world. And sure, it might not win Game of the Year, but I feel like
Intergalactic's going to come out in the same year, Nick.
It needs to be recognized as what it is, which is the single most impressive thing I've ever seen in this industry, period, bar none. It's a miracle that these games are as good as they are, and the timeline that they're coming out needs to be studied. Is it my prediction now?
Yep. I have 3 done.
I only have the 2 done.
Yep.
We mentioned it, Marathon. Marathon succeeds, fully capturing the Arc Raider audience, and it shifts the conversation about live service games and Bungie completely. Gets them totally back into the good graces of everything. PlayStation live service goes and flips the narrative of being, instead of 50-50 with Helldivers and Concord, 66%, baby, with Marathon and Helldivers succeeding. I think that this game has massive potential. Like, a level that is exactly what the teams at PlayStation and the higher-ups at PlayStation imagined possible. This game encapsulates that entire scope and potential. This game was supposed to be Bungie's coming out party, extraction shooters. Some people might be like, Arc Raiders having the audience that it has is going to hinder what Marathon's trying to go after. I think that's the biggest blessing that could have possibly happened for this team, and getting people familiar to what an extraction shooter is. And now Arc Raiders, for a lot of people, it's extremely fun. It works. But more than anything that I've noticed in this industry is people having very short attention spans. The streamer audience of, man, this game ran out of content and all that conversation is so true. It happens all the time. And right now, it is just being teed perfectly up for March, them to just hit one out of the park. And not to dominate for 9 months, but have a sizable peak and then a sizable player base that's playing for the rest of the year. I think that this game can rip.
I don't think you're wrong. It's just the extent of which you're right that is up in the air.
Yeah.
I think that this game is going to be a hit. I think it will get an audience just based off of the fact that it's a Bungie game and that it has that built-in audience from Destiny. Bungie fans are big fans of their games. Like they like will play whatever they put out, no matter what. And so having that base behind you at zero is very helpful for building on top of. So yeah, I think this game's gonna be good, and it's Bungie. They don't really put out bad video games.
Yeah.
It's just the extent of which it's going to be great. So we'll see.
Yeah, I want to believe.
Jedi 3 will be announced at Summer Game Fest for releasing later this year.
Oh, later this year is wild.
The timeline makes sense.
But the timeline does make sense.
It's 3.5 years between Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor.
And we're about 3.5 years out from, wow, that's insane that 2023 April? It's April or April. Man, still trapped.
And it was November for Jedi Fallen Order.
Because it didn't make... Did it make? I don't think it made the cutoff, right?
Yeah.
It was too late for Game of the Year. And then it got forgotten about to next year.
3.5 years, 3-ish years.
Yep.
It makes sense.
And we say it all the time. They have a lot of the assets already built in of what Cal looks like and how that world functions and the movement and all that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I like this prediction a lot.
Yeah. They're working on the same console generation this time, so they don't have to make that jump.
Yeah, they're going to use the same engine, you assume. Yeah, I like, because this was an interesting one where we thought it could be Game Awards, and once again, it felt like that's the earliest we could see something like that. And then we got Beta of the Old Republic. So
when the last Jedi was announced, it was announced and came out pretty soon after the fact.
Yeah,
like it was a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, we got Jedi 3 Jedi Survivor. Was that was Game Awards, and then we got it in April.
Yep. Quick.
Wow. I
gotta get it out before GTA. is the only factor here that makes me a little bit worried
Yeah,
about it.
because you think they want to go November, they have to
Right.
go October with that. I think that this game is the timeline that you just laid out sounds perfect. I'm a complete believer. I think that it's going to be announced over Game Fest February of 2027, and it's solely due to GTA. I think they probably had a November date lined up, and I honestly think that they probably will have that game done by that date. But you can't release it around GTA. But I wouldn't be shocked if they go in, get that thing up to October. That'd be sick.
What do we got?
Uh,
Prediction 4.
Let's go with a me prediction. Another like personal thing. The year of the fighting game returns with 2 XKO on consoles, Invincible versus Avatar Legends, and Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls all releasing this year and receiving scores higher than 80 on Metacritic. When I think of the fighting game renaissance that like legitimately did happen, like if the fighting game community fully captured, it wasn't all in the same calendar year, but it was Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken 8 all released in the span of like 8 months, and that was the we're so back moment. Ever since then, it's a couple. You get a little something here, a little something there, but it's bad, not great by any means. 2025, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves was the only game that made sense to get nominated for the best fighting game at the Game Awards, and it won, and congrats. I think 2XKO will be there again because of this console release and everything and the way this game's going to roll out. But all the games that I just listed are either been played and are great, like Avatar Legends has people have gotten hands on, I believe, or they're from studios with previous history of making great fighting games, with the Invincible Versus team and with Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. I think that this is just gonna rip. I think
Are you
that
not
this
worried
is
at all about Marvel based off of the alphas?
no. Fighting games are immensely tough to make balanced and perfect off of just getting into people's hands. That's why they do so many alphas and betas for so many fighting games. And we're talking also, it's like basically asking, do I have faith in Sony Santa Monica or Insomniac to make a great game? It's like, yeah, that's all they do. It's like, that's what it's going to be great. And honestly, I think it's probably the highest reviewed out of all these. I think that it's going to come out and freaking rip. I don't think that we're talking like 92 potentially. I think an 88 or an 89 though is well within the realm of possibilities of how good Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls is going to be. And then like an Avatar fighting game that looks like that and plays like that, that's gonna be awesome. That's one that I will try to get us to stream on a Monday and have fun.
It could go either way, man.
People have got hands on. People got hands on.
Not been great.
but also like Avatar adventure games haven't been great because they're doing weird stuff. The art style that they captured, the roster that they have, I think that this is primed to be freaking awesome. And honestly, like, it's almost like the Xbox situation this year. If one of them gets pushed to next year, or if one of them sucks, we still got 3 other ones that like are probably gonna hit. But I actually believe in all 3 of these games, and I think that like by the end of this year, I'm not gonna be like, oh, like this game needs to be game of the year. Hopefully, Marvel Tokon comes out, and I say that. Like, hopefully it's in my top 3 or 4, and I love it with all my soul. Fighting Souls. But I don't necessarily think that like this is a slam dunk like all timer. But I do think that it's gonna be excellent.
My last prediction, it's kind of a lukewarm one, I'm not going to lie, but Xbox, for the first time in what feels like a decade, fulfills their announced plans for 2026, and Halo, Gears of War, Forza, and Fable release. They are all above an 85 on Metacritic.
85 is a ballsy.
The only one that I think could be under it is Halo.
I think that that's the biggest question mark too.
Yeah.
Because everyone's reviewing this game on the mindset, this isn't, I'm playing Halo for the first time. This is a remake of one of the most beloved games, and you're rating it based off the remake experience.
Do you think people rate it lower because it doesn't have multiplayer in it?
Yeah, if you are not, if you
I feel like you gotta just take the game for what it is.
If you rate Elden Ring for not having crossplay like a different way, if you rate it for not having a great single player, I don't think it's different at all. You're rating it. You're not rating it for what the game is offering. You're you're rating it for what it's not offering, which I disagree with that in some levels.
That makes sense.
But like the multiplayer for, I think Part of me hopes that we get the announcement at Summer Showcase, hey, we listened to the feedback, we're having a multiplayer. And we're now going to turn this into a 2027 game. It's going to come out 3 months later, but we have to have the multiplayer. I don't think that you can get away for this game with have this game release and not have Halo multiplayer on the horizon, at least for whatever's next,
Right.
or have it in this game. You need to make it very clear to your audience, because at the end of the day, that's what
They're
people
not
want to
putting
go
the
back to.
multiplayer in it because of that multiplayer title that they have right around the corner.
Yeah,
you
but-
don't want to have 2 multiplayer games going at the same time.
Yes.
Split the audience.
But they need to have a multiplayer going, and it needs to be relatively soon. We cannot have it be 2027 summer and not be playing Halo multiplayer. Can't have it. I think that's damning. So yeah, 85 is a gutsy number, because here's the thing: Fable could easily be under.
Yeah.
The only one that's guaranteed not to be under that number is Forza. That is the most money in the bank.
But I think
video
the
game
Fable's
ever.
going to be in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I think Gears is probably going to be the high 80s.
Yeah, I think Gears 86, 85. Once again, I can see Gears 8 being an 85.
I think Gears 5 was in that ballpark.
Yeah, 80. I want to say it was in 86. So we looked this up recently. Gears 5, Metacritic. I think that there's a good chance Gears comes out and it underwhelms just enough. It's an 84 for Gears 5.
Oh.
So that's the fear point. I think that it underwhelms just enough to get to that 83, 84 area. I believe in Gears. I believe in this entire lineup is the big issue. And it's not
Such a good lineup. And we're not even talking about Clockwork Revolution either.
that game's not coming out this year.
Why not?
I don't think it's coming out this year. I think it's the next year thing. I think that they understand how
Oh, did you
stacked they
see
are.
Xbox's tweet? Big year for games that end with 6.
We're going to see Elder Scrolls 6 this year.
Okay. We see it.
That's what they're talking.
Could it come out this year?
No.
Imagine.
They have a social media person that's doing a very good job. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what they're doing. They're stoking some flames. It's about Forza Horizon 6 and obviously the GTA 6.
Yeah. And also
Gears
Gears
6.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I would love this. I didn't want to. I feel like we've talked so much Xbox recently between
Right.
CGNC and the Metacritic predictions. I didn't want to have one of those predictions, but I like that you have it in here, because I am more excited for this developer direct than I am for the next State of Play.
Yeah.
And it's not close to me. Not close.
It's funny, when I made that prediction, I was like, this is so lukewarm. It was the first prediction I made, and then I put it all the way to 5. I was like, this will be the closer.
I have a fun closer. It's not crazy, but I think that's an interesting conversation. We will have 0 indie games nominated for Game of the Year.
Somebody wrote in with that take,
nice.
but I don't have it. They said it's the year of the AAA game. All 6 games will be AAA releases.
This is when I think about what's coming out this year, and when you have Capcom with a clear GOTY nom in RE9, the fact that RE8 got nominated for
It was a weak year, though.
I think that it shows that that's locked and loaded. I think when you look at PlayStation with Wolverine, there's not a world that Wolverine doesn't get nominated in my mind.
Yeah.
At all. With Xbox's year, I think that between Fable or Gears, one of those two will get nominated. I think it's gonna be Fable. And I once again, there's a snowball chance in hell that everyone just understands and finally gives the credit that it deserves and puts Forza Horizon 6 on there. I like that would make me a very happy human being. It means the world would be healing in a way where enough people will have played that game and realize how awesome it is, because it's just a question of numbers when it comes to it getting nominated. It's not a question of quality. Everyone understands it's one of the best games ever. So that would bring me some joy. And then you start going down the line and it's like, okay, Fire Emblem, it's gonna be awesome. I could easily see Fire Emblem being in the 90s.
Me too. I'm 89 for 3 Houses.
Yeah, I think that's locked and loaded as one of the best games this year. And then the question marks start to rise after that, but it's I could easily see Saros being a 90 and being one of the best games this year and getting the credit that it kind of deserves after Returnal. Getting snubbed that year, right? I don't think it got nominated for Game of the Year. I think that the dominoes just lined up where all of a sudden you're just like, oh man, what if Square releases something? Whoa, what if Konami releases a Castlevania? The Dustbloods is a huge question mark. We're getting a Miyazaki From Software game this year. and you're telling me it's not going to get nominated for Game of the Year, that's nuts. Like, I think that you start adding it up where in the case of 2023, we had 6 Game of the Year nominees that were all first party, no indies. And the outside looking in were Starfield and FF16.
Right.
It wasn't an indie presence. I think that this year there's going to be an indie presence. I'm excited about it. Eugenics, shout out. Can't wait. Like, that's going to be exciting. The next game by the person that made Braid, cool, awesome, could easily be up there.
Hollow Knight DLC.
No, that's not getting nominated for Game of the Year.
It could be.
I would bet anything. I would bet not anything. I would bet DLC getting nominated for Game of the Year. The fact that it happened for Archery was because it was 50 hours of content. Like, it needs to be such a sizable amount. Unless it is 20 hours of content.
Could be.
I don't think it's. I think it's going to be.
Cherry, man.
I think it's going to be 4 new bosses, 10 hours of content.
That'd be awesome.
Big new section.
Be all about that.
That would be exciting. But yeah, I'm not going to bank on it slam dunk coming through. So yeah, I think that Game of the Year 6 nominees will be Phantom Blade Zero is AA. Like, there's just so many games. Also, I firmly believe GTA 6 will be eligible to get nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah, me too. They'll make an exception.
They will do whatever it takes.
All right. Fan submitted predictions. We got a lot, so I culled it down to 3. So I apologize if your name didn't get pulled, but and like I said, I took 1 per topic. We got so many write-ins about GTA 6, but JJ McGarry gets the write-in for GTA 6. I think if GTA 6 does get its confirmed release date, 2026 will go down as the best year in gaming in terms of video game quality. I think we'll have more 85 plus on Metacritic than any year, at least since the early 2000s.
The competition for greatest year ever is 2023. And I firmly believe
for
that.
Highest bar of quality, but I would say for consistency of games over 85, I think you probably go last year, right? There was so many games last year.
I think they're sleeping on the Metacritics of 2023. 2023 video games, just rapid fire. There's going to be remasters and stuff like that in there, but just stick with me. Cool. Baldur's Gate 3, 96. Tears of the Kingdom, 96. Metroid Prime 4 remastered, 94. Resident Evil 4 remake, 93. Super Mario Wonder, 92. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion.
Mario Wonder has a 92?
Yep. 92. Street Fighter 6, 92. Against the Storm, never heard of it. 91. Slay the Princess, 90. Marvel Spider-Man 2, 90. Jack Gian, 90. Videoverse, 90. And then, like, I'm bringing in everything, right? Yeah. Dave the Diver, 90. Pizza Tower, 89. Phantom Liberty, 89. Dead Space Remake, 89. Quake 2, the Enhanced Edition, 89. Alan Wake 2, 89. Cocoon, 88. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, 88.
Your point has been made.
The Talos Principle, 88. God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, 88. Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways DLC, 88. Sea Stars, 87. Don't cut me off until we get through this. Pikmin 4, 87. Because I feel like a lot of the big games that like most people I haven't said yet. Pikmin 4, 87. Final Fantasy 16, 87. I'm just going to call out important games now. We're at 26, by the way, at an 87. Hi-Fi Rush, 87. Shredder's Revenge, Shell Shock DLC, 87. Asgard's Wrath, 86. Diablo 4, 86.
Did you point at me for Asgard's Wrath because it's VR?
Yeah. Armored Core 6, 86. Jedi Survivor, 85. Jasant, 85. Octopath Traveler 2, 85. And then I'll call it there. But if you're wondering for the exact amount of games over 85, it's 54.
Okay, go to 2024. And you don't need to read them all off.
You mean 2025?
Yes.
Metacritic, 2025.
Oh man, my years are all thrown off. I was like, last year is 2024 because I keep thinking it's 2025.
It's going this year. Gosh darn it. It says this year, Metacritic, best games 2025. Give me 2025.
Can you not filter by it?
And it is literally when I click on best game, it's the first thing. Fine. Yeah.
I want to extrapolate a little bit on this because, like I said, a lot of people wrote in about GTA 6.
Got it. Continue.
Also, I want to talk about, do we think GTA 6 delivers? A lot of people said that it's going to disappoint. Take it to the bank. That game is going to be fantastic.
58 for last year.
So it
It
beats
is 4 more. Yes.
Wow, Nick.
But I want to pull in. Well, also I know that there's remakes and There's 2 Zelda remakes at 96.
Yeah, well, you literally said Metroid Prime remake for
Metroid Prime remake is remastered is very different than a Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 upgrade enhanced version.
I
Very
guess.
different. Very different.
That's fair. All right, well, that's 2 games.
Oh my gosh.
One of them was like Quake.
Yeah, I Connor, you speak. I need to count. I can't go.
No.
and
Come on, we can do it after the fact.
Like a Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition's on here. You have all the Switch 2 games.
It's fine. It's
you have
fine.
all the Switch 2
It's
games
fine.
in here. It is
I
not the
believe you.
same.
GTA 6, it delivers.
Yeah, it's gonna know are we saying is it gonna come out or not? Or
That's 2. Let's do both of them. If it does come out, it's going to be fantastic.
97
yes,
on Metacritic.
Guaranteed over 95. I do not see a world in which this game does not meet expectations, and I think exceeds expectations.
There is a realistic chance that this is the only game ever to come out that has a chance to be the number 1 game on Metacritic.
No game will ever do it.
I understand.
It's different times.
It's the only game that could.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, it has to be. I think that the writing can be this airtight that it can get up to a 99. I would be insane. I have it at 97. Would you agree? I think that is basically the highest score possible nowadays.
Right.
Is a 97 with the way that games is discussed and the amount of review sites and all that stuff that are Metacritic verified. But yeah, it's gonna be the highest game possible. Basically 96 or 97.
Yeah, I'm right in that ballpark, and I do think it comes out this year, even with the Jason Schreier story we talked about on Casual Gaming News Conversation. But I wouldn't be shocked if it gets pushed.
I just can envision picking up my phone and seeing it delayed to February or March or May.
And who gives a fuck?
It's gonna be awesome
A few
whenever it
more
comes
months.
out.
What's a few more months?
Honestly, this year doesn't need it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
No
need it.
No year needs it. There's a consistent flow of games constantly, so
Yeah.
it's really
Well,
not that big of a deal.
This year especially doesn't. Like when I say that there's 0 indies going to get nominated for Game of the Year, doesn't mean that there's not going to be any indies that are worthwhile to get nominated for Game of the Year, right? Like, so when you have the AAA space doing what I expect it to do, which is dominate, and you have the indie scene going to just continue to crush in the way that it has done for the past 8 years, I want to say, where it's just been like consistently 2 or 3 like all timers when it comes to the indie space. Yeah, it's gonna be a great year.
Speaking of the indie space, the last write-in from Charlie Wilson, Mixtape will rival the likes of Inscription, Celeste, Hotline Miami, and Undertale in becoming one of the greatest indie games of all time. Off the back of Netflix's Stranger Things, a 1980s nostalgia and coming-of-age game feels like something almost everyone can enjoy. It will be Annapurna's greatest game ever.
What would rival Annapurna's greatest game ever? Yeah, I don't.
not that
Nothing
well
comes to
versed in
mind.
Stray.
Yeah,
Game of the Year nominated, Stray.
I mean that's
the
we're
only
a
game
low
I can
on
think
it.
of, yeah.
They did the Outer Wilds
Oh, there you go.
and What Remains to Be Edith Finch and Neon White. Those were the.
I think
quick
Outer Wilds
resource.
is probably
Outer
considered
Wilds
the
is
best of
definitely
the bunch
considered the
there,
best.
yeah.
I've got hands on with this. I have played. I would say a substantial amount. You know, like not like just a quick.
What was it,
moment.
30 minutes?
I think it was closer to 45. I want to say.
Yeah.
Whatever I said on the episode is however long I played. But like there's so many different gameplay sequences that I went through that I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I think that this game is going to review very well. I think it's going to be awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be all encompassing. This game is for not everyone.
Well, you could say the same about something like Life is Strange, but I would consider Life is Strange to be a classic at this point.
Yeah, Life is Strange is very beloved, but it's not for everyone. It doesn't like get this like universal praise. This game will not get universal praise. I really don't think that. I think that if we both played it, there's a very likely chance I give it a 9 and you give it like a 7.5, just because it's not your game. The writing is very corny to some level, but like it's good corny. Like it's like very time and place, like high school bullshit, right? And the gameplay is so interesting and it's sometimes off-putting, but also like engrossing because of that, right? I think that this game's going to be awesome. I'm very, very excited about it. I don't have this level of lofty expectation though. I want it to be sick. It's going to be sick. I just don't expect it to be this 10 out of 10 slam dunk. I don't assume this game's going to receive multiple 10s.
I think it will. I think the way that people talked about it after SGF and getting hands on with it was absolutely glowing.
It was game of the show. I really do think it was game of the show.
Really high praise for that demo.
Yeah, and because it deserves it. It's going to be awesome. But I'm not at the point with it.
Did we do a prediction for Metacritic for this one?
I can pull that up. Give me more than like 4 seconds, please. I don't think that we did. Actually, no. I know that we did. Isn't that funny how it's sometimes like maybe not? Mixtape. Connor said 82.
Ooh.
I said 86.
I think it could easily be like an 89 though.
Is this little behind the scenes inside baseball? How high is this on your draft board for like?
So similar, going off of the conversation we had earlier about dev time, like this has been kind of a little bit long in the tooth when it comes to announcement and finally coming out. That could spell trouble. But
hands on, it's not trouble. It's polish. That's totally the case with this team. That's where what I firmly believe.
I think I would let somebody else draft it, but I wouldn't. If it fell to me in a certain round, I probably would be willing to pick it up.
For me, it's a third round pick.
Third round. It'll go in the second.
Yeah, someone will be higher. Somebody's going to be higher on it than I currently am.
Right.
But what I'm saying is like I expect I'm not saying like this game's going to be bad. I'm not even saying that this game is going to be only good. I think that it's going to be exceptional for a certain audience. And that for some people will say this is Annapurna's best game. I do think that that's the case. I don't think it will be universally Annapurna's best game, though. I think might say that, but I haven't played Outer Wilds yet. So I'm very, very excited about this game. I cannot wait for this game. But like to be very clear, this is going to be. I might have messed up by not having it in my top 10 anticipated, but Fable was my number 10 and I can't wait for Fable now. Like I'm all in on Fable, so I'm very, very excited about this. I can't wait for mixtape. We got a draft to do, Con.
Indeed. Do you want first pick or
I'll take first pick.
You're gonna put me in a bad spot, I fear. Do you want to tee it up then?
Oh, actually, I don't know if I want first pick.
No, you already said it. So
oh man. Yeah, you can tee me up.
Today, we are drafting long-running video game franchises. Video game franchises with over 10 entries. Nick, you have the first overall pick. What are we taking?
With my first overall pick, I am choosing Final Fantasy, the greatest RPG franchise of all time. It is clearly the 101 in my mind.
Shocker.
I'm going to choose Final Fantasy as my 101. Yeah, of course. And I saw, like when I was like, I don't even know if I want to pick it because I always pick it. But it's also the right answer in my mind. There's no franchise that has music, characters, and gameplay across the board that is this good, except for maybe one other.
With my number one pick, the correct number one pick, we're going to go with The Legend of Zelda franchise. Whether you want to take the 2D games, the 3D games, there is a really high bar of quality across the board here. Even when they stumble, they're still better than most other games. So yeah, The Legend of Zelda with my first pick. With my second pick, one of the longest running, most storied franchises out there, we're going to go with Mario. We get 3D, 2D Mario here, Mario Kart, Mario Party, that's separate outside of this, but like, come on, Mario World, Super Mario Bros. 3, Mario Galaxy, Mario Odyssey. Like, these are fantastic video games that paved the way for certain genres. 3D platformers are not the same without Mario 64. That's my second pick.
With my second pick, I'm going to choose Resident Evil because it's just so freaking good. I am kind of dumbfounded with the way that this franchise was able to turn it around in the modern era. 7 and 8 are classics at this point, like some of the best first-person horror games ever. And then you look at the story enriched franchise of RE1, 2, and 3. RE4 being one of the most important video games of all time, and then the remakes are now just crushing. This is exactly what remakes should be for all of video games, in my opinion. Make the game basically one for one, but elevate it. Find ways to go and make something new out of it, like they do with Resident Evil 2 remake. You're gonna get your pick because I have so many fighting games on here, dude.
Come on.
I have so many fighting games on here, Connor. It's unbelievable.
What are we taking?
The number I saw, it's over 10, but I'm like shocked that it's over 10.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick it because I'll get my fighting games down the line. Halo. With my next pick, I'm choosing Halo. Obviously 6 main lines, but there's enough offshoots to get it over that 10 number. Halo 1, 2, and 3 is arguably the best video game trilogy of all time. If anyone says that, I completely agree with them. We've discussed multiple times 4, 5, and 6 on this channel, but I want to call out Infinite. It's so freaking good. The skewer is one of the best video game weapons of all time. Shout out to the Halo franchise.
With my third pick, I'm playing with my heart here. We're going with Kingdom Hearts. This franchise means a lot to me. My first video game that I ever owned was Kingdom Hearts, and I think that across this franchise, you have your ups and downs, but you have a ton of quality. Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, Dream Drop Distance. Just, I think that the story that these games tell and the warmth that they give to me is just very special. So Kingdom Hearts with my third pick.
Not even on my board.
Wild. With my fourth pick, we're going to once again play with my heart here, and I'm going to go with Donkey Kong. I can make the argument that the 2D Donkey Kong Country era, those games are better than a lot of the Mario franchise. Donkey Kong Country 2 is the best 2D platformer of all time, and then we just got a fantastic new entry in this franchise with Donkey Kong Bonanza, bringing it into 3D for the first time since Donkey Kong 64, and doing it with such grace and such innovation with the punching mechanic and the destructibility of those environments. So much fun. My game of the year for 2025, Donkey Kong Bonanza. This franchise just keeps on cooking.
How much do I want to play with my heart? Not going to with this pick. My next choice is Pokemon. Pokemon is so freaking good. It's so consistent through basically every iteration. I love Pokemon Go. That's my current obsession of being able to go outside, take walks, even though it's freezing cold right now. I love playing some Pokemon Go. And then whether it be classics like Red and Blue or all the way up to the modern Legends titles, Pokemon just rips. And with my final pick, I'm between two. I'm going to go with the game series that's more consistent and means a little bit more to me at this point. My final pick is going to be Tekken. There's enough Tekken games outside of the numbered titles to get us across that 10 mark. But Tekken's awesome. Tekken is the best feeling fighting game franchise to me. If I want to teach somebody how to play fighting games, I'm putting them on Tekken 3 nowadays. That is the one for one. Hey, it's on PlayStation Plus. Go pick it up and just play some arcade mode. You will have a blast. Tekken 8 has had some rough spots with the longevity of the game, but when it came out initially, it was one of the most fun and tight fighting game experiences on the market. I love Tekken, and it's my final pick.
With my final pick, I'm going to go with a franchise that I'm not super well versed in, but I have a lot of respect for. We're going to go with Dragon Quest. This series is just cooking right now with the remakes, the HD 2D remakes. We have Dragon Quest VII Reimagined coming out at the start of this year. We have Dragon Quest 12 on the horizon. I think Dragon Quest 11 was really a big moment for the franchise, kind of hit more of a mainstream audience there. I get a very similar warmth in Dragon Quest that what I do in Kingdom Hearts. They feel like kindred spirits in a lot of ways. There's like this whimsy and wonder to these worlds that I really appreciate. So Dragon Quest with my final pick.
Love it. What's some honorable mentions you got?
Metroid is the only thing I have on my board that was not drafted.
Interesting. I was between Tekken and Call of Duty. As much as we wanted like Dunk on when COD sucks, Black Ops 1, 2, and 3, Modern Warfare 1 and 2, and then 3 to some level, and World War to some level, and then some of the modern CODs, Warzone.
Ghost.
Sure, shout out Brady. These games are like all timers, dude. Like, and the campaigns, the COD campaigns are so good for those, like the Black Ops 1 and 2 campaigns and the MW 1 and 2 campaigns are so good. Like, they're some of the best first-person shooting campaigns ever, and so I want to give them a little bit more respect. And then also shout out Street Fighter. I was between Tekken, Street Fighter, and COD with my last pick. Street Fighter is so freaking good. I feel like for me, Tekken's the better fight. Like, it feels better to play, and like it's easier to teach. But like when I think of fighting games, I think of Street Fighter first.
It's so interesting because for the longest time of the big franchises, I was like, if I'm gonna get into one of them, it's gonna be Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And now playing Tekken 3 and playing Tekken 8, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm a Tekken guy.
Dude,
Tekken 3
it
is so
feels
good.
Tekken 3 it's insane how basic it is. So you can have fun no matter what with it. But then learning combos and blocks the way that you're supposed to learn combos and blocks feels so good. It's insane that Tekken 8 is flashy and fun and has some of the best like progression between the different modes it offers. Like, it's so good. But Tekken 3 still might just feel better. I'm wrestling with if it's the greatest fighting game I've ever played or not. Shout out to Mortal Kombat 10 though. Mortal Kombat 10 I don't talk enough about. I love that game.
Alrighty. You have anything else?
No, this was a great episode, dude. Thanks so much for hosting.
Thank you, everybody, for writing in. This is a new thing for the show. So we're very excited to see where this goes. If you didn't get your submission read this week, be sure to write in next week if you have something to say. Give us your opinions. Give us your takes. Also, 52 episodes a year. Like, we're going to read a lot of submissions. Don't get discouraged if yours doesn't get read for 2 weeks, 2 months even. Like, just keep writing in. I read all of them at the very least.
Yes.
So I enjoy them.
I get the email notification every single time you guys write in. And honestly, in the nicest way possible, my email inbox is blown the heck up this week with y'all's write-ins. Yeah. And so that was really cool just to see y'all's reception thus far to it. We're still figuring it out on the amount, when to CGNC, when to post that and everything. And so stick with us on this new experience. As always, give us some grace. But thank you so much for all your write-ins.
Yep. And this show is made possible by all our lovely supporters over on Patreon. If you support at the highest tier, you get your name right at the end of each and every podcast. Members like Anthony C.,
Jake,
Knights Echoes,
Caleb Beep,
J Bubba,
Squidalicious,
Silent Hills X,
Blake is a dog,
Cash R,
Chaboy Jake,
Cood,
Jakey P,
Pagey,
Pigeon Power,
Tyler,
Sir Shells,
Raincoat,
Ooh, Gracie,
Choozar,
MG Dunbar,
Mr. Munchies,
Farmer Spud,
Rocket Tater,
Nofi,
Proto Dan,
The Dankest Mike,
Swampy Bits,
Tristan C,
Sconesy C,
Aloha Alley,
Scooterman,
Dingleberg Rules,
Centuro,
Hook'em Horns,
Gonash,
Neutral Sphere,
Eli the Unusual,
Lunar Aurora,
Easton C,
Kingdom Hearts Rules,
Stooby Dooby,
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
Uli,
Jacob D,
Big Bud,
Metal Nate,
The Patty Cake,
Bear Pog,
Cowboy Jesus,
Mega,
Yogi,
Damn,
Holnem,
Shano Mac,
Brock,
Voodoo,
Milky Sins,
Reggie Ranks,
Alex the Golden,
Andrew H,
Nathan R,
Master Diz,
Cannon, Fodder, Games,
Only One Rufus,
JMAP B3,
Snake,
Ali Benali,
Michael.
and Kingdom Hearts Sucks.
Thank you for joining us in this episode. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.